all your fault.
Oh my
Yakety
God.
yak, yakety yak, yakety yak. It's time to go live. We were just discussing how, on Mondays no one shows up early, but on Tuesdays you got Mary showed up early, Rita showed up early, and Mama showed up right on time.
You got anything else to say? All right. For the religious peoples out there, one whose first name would be Tommy. Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm fixing to do. Should I tell them what I'm fixing to do? Yeah.
Are we going to do a teaser? Hopefully your artist can draw a better line than that, though.
Well, thank God I'm not the. For the religious among you.
Yeah, for those in true grace.
It shouldn't matter.
For the people in true grace who use meditation properly, they are more at peace when they're hearing some dingleberry going on and on about them people that got them tight toes. They don't look like us, so by golly, we got to get them in church. When you meditate properly and you're at peace, you just listen to that and you just.
You said you was gonna work that in, and you did a fairly good job. All right, way to work that in there.
Because
my right sleeve.
I'm going to show this off the whole show because I can.
My right sleeve, I've been wanting for about 15 years.
You getting me one another tattoo, dang it. Mama, plug Granny's ears. I want another tattoo.
I've been wanting that for about 15 years now. And so I'm finally getting that done. That's April 19th. And then my left arm, the design I just came up with, that I have been indecisive on. So I can't make that claim with my left arm.
Ooh, doing it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday before Easter.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
So is this your midlife crisis?
The Saturday before Easter.
Mm-hmm.
When's Easter?
The 20th. It's April 20th.
Is it? I thought it was earlier.
I just looked it up, bro. Calendar. Saturday the 19th. Sunday the 20th. And then the 21st is Canada Canada Easter.
When was Easter last year?
But you were dead, so.
That's what I'm saying. I was dead during Easter last year, and that was early in April.
No?
Okay. Yeah, so, and then on the 4th is when I'm getting my left arm done. So
May
left
4th.
arm's on the 4th, April 4th.
CJ, oh my word. About what?
He's just getting one tattoo. I'm getting 2 sleeves. So.
Be glad you didn't say that in front of my girlfriend, shoot.
Why? She'd love it. Why wouldn't she?
The other part. If he would have said that in front of her.
Oh.
Yeah.
If he would have said that when I was there, oh my gosh.
So imagine how that reacted if he would have said that and she'd have been there.
Or if both of us had been there. Woo!
We'd be rock, paper, scissors, see who body slams the first. That judgmental religious bullcrap.
Anyhow, I'm excited about that. There's something I want, I've got my tattoos already.
Tony's midlife crisis. That was me. That wasn't even there.
Okay, so all right. Yeah, if I'd been there, oh my gosh. It's a good thing you warned me. That's a good thing.
Anyway,
All right. So, what else we got going on? We are working on my book.
Tony still ain't giddy about it.
Oh
You should have never told me that.
Keep your enemies close. Keep your frenemies closer. All right. But it's coming along.
Tony's had to spend many nights meditating to remain calm with a publisher.
I don't meditate like that, but
I've kicked the door open twice to go into meditation talks, but you just won't go through that door, brother.
we're getting there.
Rosie!
This is our little pre-topic chat, right? Where people get a glimpse into our life.
So when that's going on the 19th, are you going to do a couple shots for maybe some members? Give them a little sneak peek before Monday?
I could. Now, see, I know on the 19th, I know we're doing one sitting.
That's the only way to do it. Just get in,
Now-
get it done.
Now, April 4th, my dear sweet artist, because I'm actually having two different artists, same shop though. And you know, Bill's like, yeah, we'll get it all done. I'm like, good.
See, I like those fast guys that just get in, get it done.
Mhm.
I'll sit there for 3-4 hours
Yeah,
before I come back and get the same spot touched twice.
right. Well, but Jen was like, now, Tony, we're not going to be able to do it one sitting. I'm like, why not?
Pick up the pace, you'll be all right.
And then Bill's chiming in from the room he was tattooing. And Bill's chiming in.
Oh, Karen.
So anyhow, so those of you that think tattoos are devil's playground, there you have it.
Why are you here?
All right. Good evening, Karen. Now, last night's conversation was heading this way, which is why I decided to go ahead and give this teaching tonight, because I haven't covered it for a while. And CJ wanted to get me off the tangents I was on, and so this
I couldn't reel you in if I had a daggone thing of bacon.
maybe bacon.
Nah, I'm a bacon couldn't got you back on point last night.
Anyhow, I think that the value of meditation is so underrated, especially by Christians. They do not understand that you have a total change in your views and your relaxation
Mm-hmm.
if you meditate frequently. And I'm not talking about in a religious sense. I'm not talking about taking a scripture, and I am talking about, because here's the thing. And once again, nothing wrong with scriptures, but meditation is more about being in the spirit and stepping out of physical reality and being so attached to our human form. It is a way, and I don't want to say it this way, but to break out of the carnal mindset,
Mm.
to break out of being conformed and thinking as a human. Instead, you are now entering the zone to think like a spiritual being. What's technical difficulties?
Everything was good on the phone.
Okay. Um, that's what meditation will accomplish. And once again, I mean, it's fine. Take time, meditate on scriptures. But on top of that, okay, step outside of it. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Scriptures are very beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. But at some point, we're supposed to be operating in the spirit and not have to be governed by scriptures because you're walking in the spirit. Scriptures are meant to lead you into a personal relationship. I don't care what occupation it is. Now we're going to talk about occupations. Whatever occupation you're in, at some point, you get away from the manual and you have a personal experience with that job. You no longer need, you did not hear me say quit reading the Bible. You did not hear me say quit studying the Bible. But you no longer need to reference it in order to walk out your occupation.
Mm-hmm.
So hear what I'm saying. So the meditation I'm talking about is with the objective of creating a total, peaceful, coherent stream of thought. And the way you do that is to step out of this physical existence. Okay? I started last night to explain that the most productive state of mind that you're in is the alpha state. That is when your brain is the most organized, and this is medically proven. You look at a brain wave and you can immediately tell if that person is in beta, alpha, delta, all of them. And I call it the spirit level and I am 100% convinced completely Adam and Eve before the fall operated at the alpha state, which the alpha state is when your brain waves are between 7 megahertz and 12 megahertz. This is the problem solving. This is when your thoughts are the most clear. This is when you're at peace. The chaotic state is above 12, is 13 and above. And that's the beta state. And then the other states go down. But the alpha state, the spirit state, I am fully 100% convinced that that is the state of true spirituality and the way God meant us to operate in. Okay? So are they still gonna be here? We're not plugging the phone in. Plug the phone in. So are they still gonna be here? We're not plugging the phone in. We're good on our end.
I think Marsha was just saying she needed to plug her phone in.
Oh, okay. Hey,
I don't know
I
what
will- I-
Rita is going on.
I woke Eric up. Let's see what Eric got to say.
One thing at a time, bro.
3 things at one time. Okay.
Fine. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Eric says the person without the spirit does not accept the things that come from.
Yes. That's absolutely true. And it is being in the beta mindset, the chaotic mindset. That's when you're conformed to this physical world. That is when you are so reliant and dependent upon the physical world that you can't see anything of the spiritual world. And so it is so important to give your brain a break, which is essentially what you're doing, right? You're slowing it down. And then you can reap so many benefits from it. And here's the beauty: the more you meditate, the longer you stay in the alpha state, the more it carries over into your daily life. The more spillover effect you have without even trying. And I'm here to tell you, I have been there, and for good lengths of time. I'm talking about years. I went through 3 years right after my healing where I stayed at that alpha level. Spiritually speaking, in my opinion, because this is very subjective, what I'm fixing to say, but spiritually speaking, that's I was way up there, and yet I functioned very well during the day. My decisions turned out great, et cetera, et cetera. So the more you stay at the alpha level, the more you practice through meditation, the more it spills over, and your decisions will be more spiritual. You'll be more sensitive to spiritual things. You will be less sensitive to the physical world. And I'm not saying you're not going to have difficulties and struggles, but those struggles and difficulties, when you're at the alpha level, are so easier to overcome because you're at such peace that it is amazing. So that is why I harp and harp and harp on meditation at least 15 minutes a day. And you can absolutely do it. And once again, here's the problem. People think, and they've got the wrong idea, which sometimes it can be like it, but their impression of meditation is you have to be eyes closed. You have
with
to
your
be,
hands like this, legs crossed, going.
or hands like this, and you got to be so concentrated. No, that's not the truth. Can you? Yes, you can. But you can be legitimately in the alpha state, the spirit state, while you're driving. You can legitimately, because the alpha state, you can function in. You can be at a stoplight and not look around or nothing else and just be at the alpha state. People don't realize throughout the day, you're in and out of the alpha state to varying degrees. Depends on how physically minded you are. Artists, right? People that do painting, writers, what else? Pottery, all the artistic things, they stay in the alpha state because those things engage your imagination, which is the spirit realm. And I know you're not taught that, but that's the truth.
And if you want proof how easily it's even recognized, how many people like at a fair, something, a fair like event, they see a painter just going at it like, oh, he's in the zone. Oh, he's in the zone. Guess
Correct.
what? You're recognizing where he's at, but you don't recognize where he's truly at. The alpha state.
He is meditating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is so crucial. God designed it that way. And the more you're in that state, the better your brain waves are. Seriously. So it is a simple matter of engaging that. And as I talked about a few weeks ago, you can include your intellect. Then that way your ego and your intellect and all that is not interfering with you anymore. Because the two do conflict. If you're operating with your intellect, then you're turning off your imagination. So you're out of the spiritual realm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're into the chaotic wavelength and mindset. Well, but you're actually, see, that's a Christian. If I'm getting what you're saying, Eric, that's a Christian falsify because that's not really true.
I think what Eric's getting at is when you hear people that try to do force meditation by the book, it's about emptying yourself, emptying your thoughts, yada yada yada.
No, it's about being so focused on one thing. That's not about emptying. Okay. It's about clearing your mind of physical thoughts, of physical worries. And this is even true. I don't care, even if you're talking about Eastern meditation. Okay. You're really not clearing your thoughts. That's a misnomer. That's not true.
Hold on, let's sit there. Let's see what the additional comment.
Okay. So I can't really disagree with that.
No argument
Correct. Eric's talking about effort.
Mm-hmm.
So I could agree with that. But this is not, meditation is not emptying your mind as much as it is distancing yourself from your physical existence. You are doing that. Okay? You're no longer thinking of yourself as a mere mortal in a human body, etc., etc. You are on a different plane of thought. Okay? And during meditation, yes, you're using your imagination. That can be part of meditation, but it can be separate from meditation. You don't have to meditate in order to use your imagination in the correct way and in the godly way. And maybe that's where me and Eric are kind of butting fingers.
Maybe that's where he's not explaining. I mean, because Eric only has that much to type out. Where you can speak freely. Let me defend my bro a little bit here.
And I'm not saying any of what he's writing is wrong. None of it is. It's all right, but
it is no matter Tony lingo, Tonyism.
But the thing,
I got you.
the thing is to visualize. You don't necessarily have to meditate. So I'm coming from, and right now, I'm not talking about even the meditation to visualize yourself healed or any of that. I'm talking about meditating for peace of mind, for full health, and all of that stuff. Yes. Absolutely, Kayla. Absolutely. Imagination has everything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight I was more focused on meditation for well-being, overall well-being, and overall walking in the spirit. Okay. Like I said, I agree with what Eric's saying. I'm just trying to hone in specifically to help people to really grasp the difference between walking your life out in the spirit level and walking your life out at the beta level, which most people do, which is why most people stay in fight or flight mode. Because there's never that time where you get your brain to relax and you step outside of this physical existence. So your brain is always running, and in most cases, so scientifically, the beta is from 13 to I think 32 megahertz, if I'm remembering right.
Don't look at me.
Well, like I said last night, I've got 3/4 of this book written. But anyhow, I'm digressing. So, but do you know most people are operating at 60 plus megahertz? No wonder there's burnout and everything else in people's life. No wonder they're staying in fight or flight, releasing the chemicals that are only meant to be released during fight or flight mode. We are not created to experience that long amount of fight or flight. That's why so many people develop PTSD, et cetera, and take a break. All right. That's why I wanted to specifically talk about meditation for your overall well-being. And so, and once again, I'm a firm believer, I've experienced it, that when you meditate consistently, all of that bleeds over into your everyday life. The peace you feel. Hey, David, what's up, brother?
Hello, David. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro. Nope. Meditation.
But the truth is, so when you stay at the spirit state, now that is when your imagination is easily engaged as well. Absolutely. Like I said, this is a whole nother realm. And the imagination is part of that realm. And this is the realm that is the realm for creating.
Is it Mazurk? Mazurk?
Missouri.
Missouri?
Missouri.
I'm going Mazurk. Final answer. Okay. Back to meditation.
And by the way, y'all, Dave's got an awesome show on the GAN network. Check him out. All right. Had to throw that in there.
And where can that be found at?
The GAN network.
GANTV.com.
I
Gotta learn how to promote a little bit. Sheesh.
was doing good promoting Dave. That was good.
C minus.
Oh, please.
C minus.
Dave, you could type the name of your show in there too. I do love Dave's show. I can't always watch it, but I do love it. He's awesome. Y'all would love him too. All right. Back.
Meditation.
Meditation. He's trying to keep me straight tonight.
Whoa. Stay on topic. Whoa.
But that's why.
Boom. That's on GANTV.com.
There you go. That's why tonight I'm trying to speak specifically on meditation, because with meditation, that's where the spiritual realm is easiest to access. That's where, like I've talked about numerous times, when I was writing all my books, I stayed in the alpha state, and that's when it flowed easily.
When you got into the zone and you were writing good, alpha state.
Exactly right. And that's also the state that you get so much revelation of God's love for you and everything else. But we don't take the time to purposefully slow our brains down. And depending, if you're very analytical, you fight that much more against it. But that's one of the things that would really help you, and you will see a marked improvement. Not only clearer thoughts, but in revelation of scriptures, in revelation of God's goodness, because you're no longer operating in that chaotic chaos state, which and Eric can help me out with this scripture since I've already ticked Eric off. Um, that God is not a God of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you really think that he meant for our brain to be operating at a chaotic level? No. But he gave the answer, and the answer is to what? To meditate. What would you laughing at now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A good example of having your mind in the fight or flight, it could be something as simple as a person trying to stay locked into a podcast show, knowing he's got 2 brand new chairs in the other room, which was about a year ago. There it is.
There you go. God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. If your brain waves are going all over the place, what is that?
If your,
Confusion.
if your brain is going all over the place like Tony on a rabbit trail fun wagon,
Yes, absolutely. I was eventually going to get there. Thank you.
David's even helped me keep you on track tonight.
That's exactly right. You're naturally in the alpha state as you're waking up and as you're falling asleep. That is why on my mind renewal meditations, I tell every one of y'all, do it first thing in the morning as you're waking up, and do it in the evening as you're falling asleep. That's when you're most retentive and all of that. Absolutely right. 125,000%.
And David gives great advice on that channel at GANTV.com.
But yeah, those are the best times. Another peak times are when you're doing something artistic. Painting, drawing, writing, music, anything like that. You're already going to go into that stage naturally. But the problem is we are in our comfort zone in a fight or flight and in the chaotic beta state instead of learning how to reach the alpha state anytime we need it. And old Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it a lot as well. And he also talks about what I was talking about earlier is you're disentangling yourself from the human existence. I'm trying to remember in his meditation his exact words, but I really can't quite get them. But it is, you are no longer your body. And you are no longer have any physical attachments while you're meditating. And I love that. And that's one thing that's really helped me out. And you get disengaging from the physical world, the physical worries, the physical thoughts. Yes, absolutely. You're really disengaging from that. So you're getting out of the fight or flight. You're organizing and cleaning up your brain and the way it's functioning. There are just, everybody should spend at least 15 minutes a day.
Here's a good one.
And I'll go and say twice a day.
Can you be in the office state and be energetic and hyper, not physically calm?
Energetic, yes. Hyper, no. You will be physically calm.
There's just such a peace in the office state. It's almost like you got to be calm.
Right, because you are disattached from all your worries and all of that. And see,
The office state is truly God's rest.
it is. And there's a fail safe there. And the fail safe is this. You cannot have any negative thoughts and be in the alpha state.
Yeah.
You cannot, and I'll even be so churchy as to say you can't think any evil thoughts and be in the alpha state. It is literally impossible because you will no longer be in the alpha state. You cannot be in a state of anxiety while in the alpha state because you are automatically then out of the alpha state. There is nothing negative that can happen in the alpha state.
Mm-hmm.
It is an impossibility. There is nothing evil that can happen. Hello, for y'all that are so concerned about Eastern meditations and all this stuff, rethink this because at the alpha state, it is impossible. Impossible. Okay? Oh, Samantha, you're gonna get him mad at me and you get me on a rabbit trail? You are heaven on earth. You are heaven on earth. We're not trying to get heaven on earth. We are heaven on earth. You are the playground of heaven. Okay. Now, it would be correct to say you're actually operating as heaven on earth. Okay, we could go there. Heaven is within us. And absolutely. Because and some people are going to scoff at this. Meditation is prayer. It absolutely is. No, oh, heaven is a place on earth. You don't know, of course you don't.
I know that song.
But of course you don't. You're Generation L.
Either labels matter or they don't, bro. Pick one. Quit having those conflicted war thoughts in your head and be at peace. Stay on your side.
I know this song, Mr. Eric.
I don't know the whole song, but I recognize the chorus.
That was the Bengals. Ha! Eric's having to look up who's singing now.
To be fair, Eric also has 4 monitors that he can look at one time.
And probably 4 different computers with the monitors. And probably
AI technology,
um,
Siri, Google Translate.
he's probably got his sons and his mom and his dad all on different computers. Hey, Mom, Tony, I need this looked up right now. I look this up.
Hey, but I guarantee Eric's best friend is copy paste.
All
That's my best friend.
right. So, So, but the whole point, we are the portal to heaven. We have the Holy Spirit. We are heaven on earth. Let me see.
I was going to let you finish your point first.
I made my point. Is the alpha state the only state that you can provide healing? All right, you're going to get my critical thinking on. I don't like the word provide. Okay? That's kind of like the word receive. Don't like them.
Oh, you better straighten up right now, bro.
What?
Nana Walker's in the house. You straighten up right now. Nana, he keeps going on my side.
All right. I do like what David said. All
By
right.
proving Eric right.
Huh?
Go back to Eric's comment about emptying one's mind.
Let's move on.
And then now
Let's
David.
move it on.
Hold on.
Let's move it
Hold
on.
on. You said earlier.
Because I disagree with the language of that because it really is not emptying the mind. But I'm not going to prolong that argument because you can think of it that way and that's fine. I'm fine with it. Okay. Back to Samantha, my friend Samantha. That I would answer that as a subjective yes. Okay, because most of the time when somebody recognizes the healing, they are not thinking in the same way that they have been. Okay. That would be very subjective. So I would not be comfortable in making that's the only state. I wouldn't be comfortable in saying it that black and white because once again, that would be very subjective. But if you think about it, when you're healed, you're in a different state of mind. And so subjectively, I will say yes. Okay. So with that said,
Well, say, because I was going to say, you remember the other delivery driver? That was not your best day, and you yelled at him, told him get over it, and he was still fine. But that was
I
still
didn't
nice.
yell at him.
You talked loudly.
That's my normal state.
We were still new in this, okay? We were still relatively new, okay? So the memory kind of seems yelling.
I don't think it was yelling. Anyhow,
At the time, before I got to know you better. Look, Nan says you better be good.
but that's why I say.
Straighten up, Nana's watching.
But that's why I say it is subjectively. I'm saying it subjectively.
Facts are, it wasn't your best day. You still told the other driver to get over it.
What do you mean? Okay, what do you mean it wasn't my best day? I mean,
30-second timeout.
which goes to prove the point. Okay, let's say it wasn't my best day. but we have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
All right. Gosh darned it.
Isn't talking less.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for being on Tony's side for a change. All right.
Isn't talking loudly, yelling, asking for.
Nana. Don't be like CJ. Move it along, Tony. Move it along, Tony.
Get back on topic, Tony. You're lucky we don't have earpieces that interconnect. Like a news reporter.
Nana, my phone's off right now.
No, it ain't. I heard it vibrate a minute ago. You remember to mute it though. Good job.
No, I didn't. Let's see.
I heard it vibrate a second ago.
Oh, it is muted.
Yes! Right again. It supernaturally muted itself.
Now, see, Nana, you know, when you tell me to do something,
Well, we're going to wrap this show up, y'all.
when you tell me to do, what am I? I am a rebel. Sometimes, what do you mean sometimes, Rita? What's the man say?
I don't know. Let me get over here and
You
read
got the computer like that, so I can't read it. Okay.
because I'll post it. Okay? Okay. You brat.
The only frequencies you can operate on in the alpha state are the higher frequencies. Because as soon as you try operating in a lower frequency, you're out of there. You're no longer in the alpha state.
That one conflicting thought, negative thought, whatever, boom, you're out of it.
And that's the thing.
Rita, please do not encourage rabbit trails. Encourage rabbit trails. Keeping this man on topic for 20 minutes is a very daunting task.
So then what do? You gently guide yourself back into the alpha state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You recognize the distraction, and then you ease yourself right back in. No big deal. So let me say that at the same time. It's not a big deal. But all of those things, then you're out of the alpha state. So then you simply go back to it. Like I said, we are in the alpha state depending upon your personality all day long. We are in and out of the alpha state. If you do anything artistic, even if you're doing designs on the computer, you're automatically going into the alpha state. I bring that up to prove the point that anyone can, because you already are entering the alpha state throughout the day. The thing is to enlarge upon it, to do it more often rather than less often. Okay, who's the great advice? Are you saying Diane is the great advice?
I think he's talking about Nana Walker. 100%.
Some people, music helps.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, it just depends whether I take 2 seconds to put on music or not. And
It's one of those things that's going to be to each their own.
it's kind of irrelevant for me, but it's in the alpha state. Those of you that are looking which this goes upon the works related thing. But so many people want to feel God's love, right? Don't turn into a work, but it's the alpha state where you will feel it. That's the state, that's the creative state. And so take 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. And the more you do it, the more consistent you're doing it, then you will find yourself doing it more and more throughout the day. Very good question. Now, are you in the alpha state when you die? Huh. I think I might have said that's above my pay grade. That's a very good question.
Well, with you talking about how you're going to poof out of here like Jedi Master Yoda, then on that example, yes, you're in the alpha state.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dave. Let me get back to you on that, Samantha.
Well, you don't like my answer?
I don't dislike your answer. I would say, no, let me get back to you on that, Samantha. I will admit, I got to spend some time on that one.
Hold on a second.
That can be a real. What?
Samantha stumped Tony. All right, y'all. With that being said, good night. Like nothing else can be said. Not stumped Tony. Just made him do some research, I guess.
No, it's more of meditating on it and having revelation for it. Because that's just something I've never given thought to. Very interesting question. And I just want to be able to give a good thought out.
Stumped.
Yes. I have no shame in that. Okay. No, well, Eric, that's a yes and a no. Because, like I said, people are in and out of the alpha state throughout the day. A lot of that is dependent upon the activity. To do it effectively, yes. You have to want you have to make the choice, which is why most people stay operating at the beta level. So that is kind of a yes or no in my book. I don't completely disagree with you. But in order for it to be effective, absolutely, yes. Because the majority of people use the alpha state very ineffectively, and yet they're still going through, touching on it throughout the day and all. But then that's why they're so shocked when they make a good decision because they accidentally happened upon the alpha state. How's that? Okay, put that up by Samantha. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction, Samantha, would be yes, but that's a pretty deep, because I think it's possible that you're in a completely even higher state than an alpha. And you got to remember, this terminology is from our finite minds here on earth. And so it could be a dramatically higher experience, is my thought process. I don't think, can we say the non-alpha state, which is the beta state, can we say that's a non-evil state? Okay, Eric, that's a very good question as well. I love, can we state if you come down to it, no, you can't state that as non-evil because you're not aligned with God's thoughts, which means you're outside of the garden because you're strictly on a physical plane. So would it be correct to say it's non-evil? Now, you're not condemned. You're not condemned for it because, thank you, Jesus, right? But you are not in the spirit. Y'all are asking some really good questions tonight.
Eric's question is very easily answered. Yes, you can say that. This is a free country.
Oh. I love that. Does Canada a free country?
But the host of the show is in
Okay.
America, which is a free country.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Jesus had to be in the alpha state when he started shining his light on Mount of Transfiguration. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. That was one thing I failed to mention. When you're in the alpha state, you will not feel symptoms. That's another impossibility. All right. So this is a free country, Eric. So yes, you can state that. Do I agree with that? If you're looking at an in the garden, out of garden scenario, you're not aligning yourself with God's thoughts. If you are not aligning yourself to God's thoughts, is that technically evil? Yes. That is technically evil. Are you condemned? No, because we are in Christ. So that's my answer. And I'm sticking to it. But y'all are coming up super, super. I love it. That's awesomeness. And guess what? CJ has run his mouth entirely too much today. And so you realize,
You've been stumped twice. You're ready to go.
but it's also way after 7 too. So
You're hungry. You look hungry.
to you, I always look hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, this will help y'all out. Dedicate 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, and then come back and tell me you did not see a change. Because that's an impossibility. And I don't know if I know who Brother Lawrence is. So, anyhow, thank y'all. Well, but you are in the alpha state at that point. Thank you, Dave. Y'all check Dave out.
GanTV.com.
Be blessed
Be healed.
and be a blessing.
Love y'all.